I think there are various ways to do it, and I'll tell you my way of doing it. There are various ways, such as reward, such as fear, but in reality, what I would base it more on is on pride. I'm fortunate enough to work with people who are talented and who really want to show the pride and really want to show what they're able to do, and I think that is much more rewarding and much more efficient in the long run than saying to someone, "Oh, you've done a good job. Here's a bonus." Don't get me wrong. Of course, a bonus is important. Financial consideration is important, but it's not the most important. And in my personal observation, it's the pride that has made a difference.
There's different components to it. Again, I think it's you as a manager or general manager or a department head, a restaurant manager, executive chef, they need to again be very open to working with their staff and be very much on the grassroots level, listening to how the team environment is so that they feel comfortable in their work environment. Then they can focus on providing the service. Then you need to put the tools in place, which obviously is the training, which is key, so they understand the levels of service that you provide from all elements, from the technical side to the human skills side. And once you have that, and then you hopefully build a little bit of the passion that I was talking about earlier comes through to the staff as well. I think especially in the Philippines, in Manila, our hotel has been there 35 years next year, so in our 34th year. And the Filipinos, of course, as you know, you're very warm, creative people. And we have very limited turnover, a very low turnover ratio, because hopefully the staff realise that they have a very compassionate, caring workplace where they know that they can come through the staff entrance every day, leave your worries at home, and be in an environment which is safe, where they can provide really sort of great, spectacular, gracious service, which they do all the time. And that's the key to success of any of the Peninsula hotels, I think.
I think the first thing you have to do is to tell people emphatically what you expect, and you have thought it through. You know what you expect in service. You put it on paper and you set a criteria. Look, at these are the things that we have to do. One thing that you can't do in service, I think, is to turn people into robots. So the hiring process, the personalities that you pick, the people that you pick, once they understand what it is that you're trying to deliver, you let them deliver it, and you let them deliver it with some individuality. People like it better. I don't think a lot of people, particularly at the high end of the business, like robotics. And on the other hand, you do have to decide what you want to do. Otherwise, you're confusing. And then you have to put the programs in place. And then you have to test it. And then you have to continually, I would say, emphasize standards on a daily basis. You can't sort of emphasize standards every 6 months and rush at it. You sort of have to live them every day. It's easier. And honestly, I think you have to have fun doing it. I mean, it can't be laborious to deliver service. It's got to be sort of in your genes.
Well, obviously, by example is one of the most important things. I come from maybe a traditional background where I worked from the shop floor upwards. You know what I mean? I started in the kitchens, working as a dishwasher, etc., and I worked my way through the organisation. So being hands-on, being visible in an operation, all of these things encourage and inspire staff. Of course, there's got to be a philosophy of training, of developing skills, of refining skills, but essentially it's selecting the right people that have got that real desire to want to look after customers. So, the selection process, finding the right people, and then developing them from there. But in my book, it's you, as a general manager, as a head of a department, you have to be with the people. You have to be on the floor. You have to be visible. You have to be available. You have to be working together as a team.